Hello everyone, thank you for joining us on another video. Today is May 4th, Star Wars Day, so it's time for our annual collection tour. So this year, 2025, we've redone our complete Black Series display. And even though the past year we haven't really added many Black Series figures, there's a few new ones in there, but we'll show you. And then across the room here is our 3.75 inch display, mostly vintage collection and other 3.75 inch figures from the line. And we'll show you those figures too. And if we have time, we might go through some of the other stuff we have in our collection. Alright, so I hope everybody's having a great Star Wars Day. We're going to start out with 3.75 inch, and here is our Imperial display. Then up here we have the Tantive 4 hallway playset, which is a really cool piece. I really love this. I'd like to find another one to make a complete hallway. Then on the back side we have figures displayed on the back side too. Here we have Princess Leia, R2, C-3PO, and Captain Antilles trying to escape the Empire's getting closer to them. Got Rebel troopers stationed at the door. And then of course, just around the door is Stormtroopers and Darth Vader coming aboard. And then we have a new indoor display. We kind of made this kind of some greenery and stuff. Put the Ewok Village on it. There's the ATST on indoor. The Vintage Collection speeder bike came out last year. And here's our Ewok Village display, which kind of mimics the celebration from Return of the Jedi. We need to get a C-3PO with they can sit down in that chair. We've got one. We've got one that has bendable legs, but he's in another display, so we need to find another one. And here's the newest addition to our indoor display, the bunker, which looks really cool. I kind of built this platform to put it on, and then it like sits right below the Ewok Village. You can see there. And of course, I had this set up really nice, but our cat got a hold of it and destroyed some of it. You can see this there, he's clawing on it, and he was really fascinated with this greenery stuff, so he's trying to rip it all off. But there we have Han, Leia, C-3PO, and R2-D2 trying to get the bunker open.
So up here we have our Mandalorian / Book of Boba Fett kind of area with figures from the kind of saga that's been going on after Return of the Jedi and before Force Awakens. So we have our Razor Crest up here. This amazing piece, the HasLab Razor Crest. Can't really see inside because it's dark, but we do have a review on this when it shipped out, like, I don't know, when was it now, like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, at least 2 years ago, maybe 3 now.
But yeah, we really love the Razor Crest. Next to it is the Slave One, Boba Fett. This is definitely one of my favorite parts of our collection. Big, like, centerpiece area here with the Razor Crest. Here we have Grogu and IG-12 on the speeder bike, like in that scene of Season 1. the I'm pretty sure it was the season finale. But yeah, we got the backpack was from what, like the new Yoda, right?
Yeah.
We just put that on IG-12 here. Right under that, we have our Navarro Cantina playset. Some Ugnaughts in there.
You know,
Mandalorian.
I love this playset. It looks so cool with the bar scene and the window and all the little accessories that comes with the bottles and stuff. And then we just populated it with a bunch of figures that we thought would fit into the bar scene.
Then right next to that, we have our Jabba's Palace playset. This is the older one. This isn't, obviously, as you can tell, this isn't the newer one that was like $300. The like giant one. Yeah, we have Bib Fortuna back there. Cantina aliens and bounty hunters and all kinds of stuff. Right under that, we have part of our Hoth playset here. This is the original Kenner Hoth set. We're just using it as like a base for our newer figures here. And then go right to the left and we have our sort of Echo base little thing here with the Snowspeeder and Luke in there and droids in the back. So here we have our prequel trilogy stuff here. It's not a lot, and it's kind of just a bunch of like random different lines. We have like the original episode 1 Palpatine there, and then like the new vintage collection Anakin from episode 2, and then a bunch of newer vintage collection stuff and a bunch of older, like, you know, that Jango Fett right there is from the episode 2 line. So yeah, it's kind of just a bunch of like random lines all put together.
And one Bad Batch figure, since they've only made one.
Yeah, and that's Hunter back there.
Which doesn't make any sense at all.
There's a Jedi Starfighter back there. Right next to that, we have our 3.75 Star Wars Rebels line figures here. We have that little Y-Wing thing back there. And then a Kanan back there on card, which is awesome. And then right next to that, we have our Rogue One line of figures, which I think is pretty cool. Especially those carded figures in the back, which is part of the Lost Wave, which are pretty rare.
Yeah, we just got those at G.I. Joe Winterfest back a few months ago. It's an awesome find. Alright, next up we have our Black Series collection, and we have 3 shelves and then another storage like shelf thing down here. And we completely rearranged this earlier this year, or actually late last year. So let's start with the top shelf up here. Very first figure is going to be George Lucas commemorative figure in the Stormtrooper armor. Really cool figure. It sits up on top of our Star Wars sign. Alright, and then going this way we have Revan, Celebration 3 Darth Vader, Jaina Solo, really cool figure in the Black Series. And one of the Black Series centerpieces of Luke on Hoth, which is really cool. And then on this side of the Star Wars sign we have Jedi Revan, some Legend figures, and a few sequel trilogy stuff and Solo stuff. And then moving down to the next shelf, the centerpiece of this shelf is Rogue One. One of our favorite Star Wars movies, definitely our most favorite from the sequel or Disney era.
Yeah, and there's our Krennic with the custom head.
Yeah, that's not the new Krennic that's coming out, but this is Krennic with the Marvel Legends head. Looks pretty good, turned out good. We customized that. It's a big improvement. And And I love the Rogue One line. I'm glad that they added some new figures to this line a few years ago.
Can't believe that movie's almost 10 years old.
Yeah. The Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper is getting a re-release, so if you don't have this figure, you can look for it at Target. They'll be getting those in. And then moving this way is kind of like our video game section with Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor figures. That's really cool. And then down this way, past the Rogue One figures, we go into Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett figures. One of my favorites is Luke from Season 2 of Mandalorian.
New R2-D2 there. There's so many figures in this Mandalorian line, it's crazy.
Yeah, we have the ones in the back elevated, so it helps out. Makes it look nicer. We need to do that. Two more of our shelves here. And then moving down to the next shelf, the centerpiece of this shelf is Rebels. And great collection of Rebels figures here. One of Alex's favorite shows from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And next to Rebels is the Bad Batch. We have the Season 1 figures.
Never got around to picking up the Season 2 figures because we just thought it wasn't worth it since we already had all of them from Season 1.
Yeah. Except for Omega, she's Season 2. But I'd like to get the Season 2 figures at some point because they look really good.
Yeah.
And then moving on from that, we go into prequels. Darth Maul here. This is the old archive Darth Maul. We haven't picked up the new Darth Maul yet. I actually like to pick up that 3-pack with Darth Maul, Qui-Gon, and Obi-Wan.
We have most of our clones. Anakin over there with his 501st Legion. Looks really cool.
Then moving down this way, we have Thrawn. That's the original Thrawn figure. We do have the Ahsoka Thrawn figure, but we never unboxed him. Then we have Obi-Wan figures. And one of my favorites is the damaged Darth Vader from Obi-Wan.
Oh yeah.
Such a cool figure. If we can get it to focus on him. In the back there, we got two figures from Andor, Luthen and Mon Mothma. And then to finish off the shelf is the Darth Vader centerpiece Black Series. And it's nicely lit. Down below that shelf is all original trilogy. And we'll start over here on the left. And this is A New Hope, Episode 4. We have the 40th anniversary display back here. In the back. And then here we have the new Luke Skywalker. And in my opinion, this is the only best way to display him. Is with that the helmet with the shield, blast shield down. Because his head sculpt, or his face sculpt and head is just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great figure and everything, but I'm just not happy with what they did with his head. So we put the helmet on him to cover his head. And then down at the bottom we have a celebration scene here from at the end of the movie when Luke and Han get their medals from Princess Leia. Then here we have the Dewback, one of my favorite pieces in the Black Series line, with the Sand Trooper. And of course, if you saw the Hasbro live stream yesterday, an all-new Sand Trooper is coming out. That's awesome news, because that's one of my favorite figures. Probably not going to look as good because this original one has like a hand wash on it, dirt wash, and they don't do that anymore. And the new figure looks kind of clean looking, so we'll have to wait and see what that figure looks like when it comes out. And then over here, I almost forgot the Land Speeder. Luke and C-3PO are in that, and then we get a few other New Hope figures in the back. I'm surprised that this hasn't been re-released yet, especially with their Hasbro's Tatooine, Return to Tatooine campaign going on right now. Maybe next year, or maybe in 2027, they'll re-release this for the 50th anniversary. I can kind of see them doing that. And then moving on, we have Empire Strikes Back right here. So up front, we have all the Hoth figures. And then as you work your way back, you have Bounty Hunters. And then more Empire Strikes Back stuff in the back. Picked up this new Han Solo Hoth. This is from that special set. Just bought him as a single open figure for like $10. So I thought that was cool to get the thing with that little soft goods hood thing. And the new updated head. The old one we still have in our collection, and I put some like snow powder on him, make it look like he was out in the snow and stuff. It looks pretty cool.
And finally, all the way to the right, we have Return of the Jedi. I think this is awesome. I think Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie. And all the figures here just looks great. We got the Emperor back there in his throne. Luke versus Vader. Over here we got Vader picking up the Emperor. A speeder bike back there. We have our Endor figures. Then the Jabba's Palace figures over here. Boba Fett flying through the air there with the stand. I think that looks really sick. There's our Return of the Jedi display there. That pretty much wraps it up for our Black Series part of our collection. So now we will move on to the cubes down here. Here we have one dedicated to Darth Vader, and it's just miscellaneous Darth Vader stuffs, like the Force Unleashed, or the Star Wars Unleashed statue here. Moving next to that, again, just miscellaneous stuff. We have the old Black Series helmets, some glasses, and trading cards back there. Next to that, some more just miscellaneous Star Wars stuff. Got more of those statues in the back. Got this cool Vader statue here. Then these little promotional things from the movies.
Pewter ships. They're made out of pewter.
Next to that, we have a cube dedicated to Din Djarin here, with the helmet in the back, carbonized. Below that, again, just random stuff. Really cool Boba Fett here. Next to that, we have our movies and books.
Yeah, kind of like vintage stuff, older stuff.
Next to that, we have our vintage Star Wars video games. And then next to that, we have this Rex helmet and just a Jerry Bruckheimer book stuck in there. Next up, we're going to move over to this Detolf over here. We're going to start at the bottom and go up. At the bottom here, we have these Disney Elite 12-inch figures from Rogue One. Going up, we have our Hyperreal figures. Going up from that, we have vintage Star Wars stuff. Some original Kenner figures in there. And then above that, we have the Hot Toys Deluxe Darth Vader from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Really amazing figure there. We did a review on it not too long ago, so check that out. And he does light up, but we don't have him lighted right now because we really don't. We don't have a way to light him when he's at the top of the DTOF. Next up, we're going to take a look at that DTOF over there. Starting at the top of the DTOF, we have part of our Tron collection. Really awesome part of the collection. I love Tron. And here we go into the DTOF. Here's part of our Tron collection here. Got the Spin Master Tron figures. Got the Diamond Select Tron figures. And then some Tron stuff on the sides here. Moving down, we got more Tron stuff. Rinsler over here. Got an identity disc. Below that, we have miscellaneous stuff. We got some Back to the Future NECA figures. NECA Terminator. Some Pirates of the Caribbean figures. And right under that, we got a mix of DC and Black Hole. So yeah, new McFarlane Dark Knight figures. And some Black Hole Diamond Select. Alright, next we're going to head over here to this shelf. Starting off with the Spider-Man collection here. We got the Hot Toys Spider-Man in the background there. It's really cool. Classic suit from the video game. Got some prints that were signed by Yuri Lowenthal and William Sawyers. And then we got the iconic trio in front here. Got Spider-Man from the video game. I really love this part of our collection here. And below that, we have part of our Transformers collection. Got a Blockies Optimus there. Got the Hasbro Studio Series. And then there's Jet Powered in the back. Transformers 1. Then here's a Yellow Park Optimus. So yeah, it's kind of just random right now because we have a whole lot of Transformers and not a whole lot of space. So it's kind of just crammed in there right now. Below that here we have our Vintage Collection X-Wing with some pilots. And then we have Tally Lintra's A-Wing from The Last Jedi, which was part of the 5POA line, the Force Link line.
Next up, we have our G.I. Joe Classified Collection and the figures here. And in the background, we have the Art of G.I. Joe Omnibus hardcover. Picked that up at Joe Fest last year. Such an awesome book. It's huge. It's really heavy. And it's really cool. Just filled with all kinds of G.I. Joe promotional art and figure art and cardback art. I mean, just anything you think of. The box arts. It's really cool. If you're a Joe fan, I highly recommend you pick up a copy of that. And this shelf here is Cobra. You can see here we have a nice selection of Cobra figures. My favorite here is the new, retro Cobra Commander with the vac metallized faceplate. So I put the cape of the Serpent Supreme Cobra Commander, the Pulse exclusive figure, onto this retro Cobra Commander. It looks so good. I just like the way that red and blue popped with each other. And of course his white belt and the white stripe on his helmet, it all comes together really good. And then moving down, we have the G.I. Joe Classified shelf. It's getting pretty full of Joes. Really don't have a whole lot of room left for any other Joes. And then moving down, we have our Indiana Jones Adventure Series figures. Such an awesome line. I love these figures. And it's a shame that we didn't get a few more of these while they were making them. These are just great figures. And the Build a Artifact series on them, like you built this arc here. It's just awesome. Now my arc, it looks a little brighter. You might be wondering why that is. I put gold metal foil on it to give it more of a gold look, and it came out really good. And then moving across here, this is 3.75 G.I. Joe. And we have our Sky Striker. This is the HasLab Sky Striker that we won from Mr. Stevie. Such an awesome, so happy to have this. And thanks again, Mr. Stevie, if you're watching. And then I also picked up a Rattler to go with it. One of my other favorite childhood jets from G.I. Joe. Both of these two vehicles are just awesome. And who's the better pilot, Wild Weasel or Ace? Let us know down below in the comments. And then moving down below here, got a couple of G.I. Joe vehicles, the Snowcat and the Wolverine. And then here's some of my, this is not all of them, but here's a few of my vintage Joe figures from my childhood. I need to get the rest of them out here. One of them's falling, Duke's falling over there.
Under that we have our Marvel Legends collection here. Really cool figures here. We got Strange, got the Avengers, Thanos in the back there.
Almost like an Infinity War shelf, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, Infinity War Endgame kind of shelf. Red Skull back there. Right below that we have some G.I. Joe vehicles. Then moving to the right, we have our Iron Man dedicated shelf here. Most of them are Marvel Legends. This one is the light up Mark 50. That's really cool. Most of them are Marvel Legends. And there's a few SH figure arts in there. Like that Mark 42 back there. That Mark 4 and Mark 3. This is our media section over here with the TV. But before we show that, we're going to show down here these little cubes. That is what's left of our Transformers collection. Right here we have our Bumblebee dedicated cube. Pretty dark in there. Down below that we have some Transformers vehicles. New Hot Wheels Optimus Prime there. Next to that we have our original, I guess it's not original, it's like a reissue, G1 Optimus. And then this Optimus from Dark of the Moon that kind of semi-transforms. And then right above that we have this third party, I think it's Alien Attack Optimus Prime, the Nightverse Optimus Prime, which I have yet to transform because the transformation is like super intricate and maybe I'll try it someday. So this is our media section here. We got a 4K TV playing Revenge of the Sith. Don't want to show that for too long or Disney might come and burn down our house. But yeah, we got a PS5, PS3, PS2, we got a receiver down here. 3DO, some games down there. Got a GameCube over here, Nintendo Switch. We got Recognizer, Nathan Drake, and a Rogue One Blu-ray. Above that we got our Tron poster from the original 82 movie. Got some Gran Turismo Hot Wheels. Right below that we have some Destiny stuff, Cade 6 mostly. Here's our PS3 games, PSP, some extra PS4 and PS5 games. These are our video game steelbooks right here. PS2 games, PS1. Then next to that we have Han Solo. This big cardboard cutout of Han Solo. And then right next to that we have our Legends Ultimate, which is playing the Star Wars arcade game. Then we have our Blu-ray collection with CDs on top. Here's our Star Wars right here. We got the soundtracks. We got the complete Saga Blu-ray set. Got the sequels. Rogue One Steelbook, which is really awesome there.
Yeah, we love collecting steelbooks. So anytime we come across steelbooks, we try to pick them up. Especially like when we go to half price books. We get steelbooks for like $10 or something.
There's our Marvel set right there. We got Star Trek and the rest, which, if you couldn't tell, we are like in desperate need of space. There's like just Blu-rays piling up everywhere and steelbooks and stuff because we literally buy movies pretty much everywhere we go. So, yeah.
Then up above the shelf we have our vintage collection box collection. Love the vintage collection boxes, so we have them kind of stacked up here, up in the rafters. Oh, and this was a new pickup this year. Finally found a theater edition Luke Skywalker from the special edition trilogy from 1997. It's a Power of the Force figure. The bubble, like all of them, was coming off, so I re-glued the bubble down and put it in a protective case, and it looks really good. Had these at the theater when I was running the theater, and I was going to save one, and they just slipped through my fingers and disappeared, so wasn't able to save one, but now I finally got one. And then up above here in the rafters we have the old Saga and Trilogy collection before, you know, the vintage collection came out. Not a complete set, but we got most of them. Still got a few more to get. And then we have some vintage collection boxes hanging up. A few more ships down here. We got some micro squadron ships. The Ghost, which is awesome. Imperial Shuttle, and then Boba Fett ship. And then over here we have the skiff, and we just ran out of room. We just got it tucked down there for now. I need to make a space for it to properly display it in the B-Wing. And the U-Wing. So right now we just don't have room, so they're just kind of stuck down here for the time. And I didn't know if I showed this earlier, but we got the Sky Strike, or the TIE Striker, hanging up here. You can see like it's flying above our Imperial display. It got like some fishing string, and it's just kind of looks really cool, like it's flying through the air. And then above that we got some TIE Fighter models up there flying around. So yeah, this about wraps up our collection tour. I hope you really enjoyed it. And happy Star Wars Day again. I hope you all have a great day out there. And please leave us a comment down below. Tell us what you think of our collection. We're running out of space, so it's really hard to display all of our stuff. But yeah, leave us a comment. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. Alex, take us out.
May the 4th be with you, always.